For more than 30 years, Southern Baptists have been descending on the host city prior to the annual meeting to partner with state conventions, associations, local churches, and many more to saturate that host city of the convention with evangelistic events. Volunteers from across the country arrive in the city a few days prior to the annual meeting to participate alongside local church members. Joining us this week on the Road to Indy, presented by Southern Seminary and Boyce College, to talk through this year's crossover event is Roger Kinion. Roger, thanks for being here.
Jonathan, thanks for having me. Looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, so you're a pastor in the Indy area. Tell us about your church and how you got involved in crossover.
Yeah, I've been at Calvary Baptist Church in Greenfield, Indiana, which is about 15 miles outside of the Indianapolis Loop, the outer loop. I've been here about 19 years, just coming up on 19 years. We've seen growth, but most of our churches in Indiana, and we're one of them, are smaller churches. We run about 120 on a Sunday morning. The average church, like most places, is under 80 people. Here in Indianapolis, we have in our Crossroads Baptist Association a little over 80 churches that are active and able to serve and support. And so we are going to do our best to engage a God-sized movement for crossover.
Yeah. So we've been talking with Chris Kellermeyer. You mentioned the Crossroads Baptist Association. He's the local AMS there, and I know he's involved with everything going on with crossover. So, kind of give us some idea of what you've got going on, not just there in the Crossroads Baptist Association, but for Southern Baptists from across the country to be able to join in at crossover.
Crossover is just an exciting time because there's so much more energy and emphasis having pastors and churches, seminary students, even a commitment from our ladies from WMU going to come in the week prior to the Southern Baptist Convention, culminating on Saturday, June 8th, doing events specifically designed for evangelism to try to reach our community with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Here in Indiana, on any given Sunday, the number is close to 90% of people will not be in a local church. We have a lot of room for the gospel to be presented, for churches to be embraced and undergirded. And so we are looking forward to what this can be. It's going to be a wide spectrum of things taking place, from evangelistic prayer walking, which would be praying for neighborhoods or communities with the emphasis of trying to have gospel conversations, coming upon people who might be out in the yard or walking who would embrace a conversation. Block parties, just coming together to celebrate in the community of the church, to just emphasize what God can do to change a life, to bring transformation. There's going to be just a variety of things that are taking place with the different local churches to try to cultivate these opportunities for one-on-one engagement and group engagement with the gospel. And it will be in our Anglo communities and our Hispanic communities.
Okay. So, if people are interested in coming early and showing up and helping out with crossover, I know many people do that every year, regardless of the city. They show up early, they're part of crossover. What kind of needs do you guys have? I mean, obviously just availability and warm bodies is one of them, right?
Yeah. So on the North American Mission Board's website, if you go look up crossover, it'll come up, and they will give 3 ways to engage for crossover. And the first is something anybody, anywhere, at any time can do. And that is what we champion here in the Southern Baptist world as praying.
Yeah.
Prayer starts the movement. Prayer undergirds the movement. Prayer is what makes the movement successful. Everybody can pray. So pray for the week culminating on June 8th, that these events will have that opportunity to make permanent, eternal, transformational difference. Second, if you are at a church in the greater Indianapolis area, Crossroads Association, you can be a host church. You can plan projects that will allow other people to come in, join your local church, partnering together so that we can take the gospel into our communities through these evangelistic events. Third, if you're outside of the Crossroads area, the greater Indianapolis area, we invite you to come and serve alongside of us. So you can be a serve church. And so we want you to come and there will be through the NAM website, you can connect your church to Crossroads churches or host churches to do these projects together. So if you have an expertise in door-to-door evangelism, there are some churches you can connect with. If you have an expertise in backyard Bible clubs, there are some churches you can connect with. If you have an expertise in whatever it is, we hope to have some projects available that will connect the right people with the right place at the right time for the gospel.
Sounds like there's something for everyone, Roger.
That's our goal. That's our intention. One of the my job as a coordinator for Crossover here on the field locally is to try to make sure we have projects available. Right now we have close to 40 projects in the Anglo world. We have a Hispanic counterpart who also has projects for her Hispanic brothers and sisters. We even have some ethnic churches outside of those two major groups that will be doing some projects. So everything from downtown Indianapolis to the way our area is structured, the donut counties, which many of you will be familiar with if you're near a metropolitan area, we will have projects going on. So there's a place for everybody.
Yeah. And I mean, you're talking dozens and dozens of opportunities for Southern Baptists to join together with the churches there in Indianapolis to reach the community that they are in. And you know, we've talked to folks in the past who have seen the Crossover event really become a catalyst for those local churches reaching their community. And we encourage you to be a part of that, those of you watching at home. So, Roger, any final notes about Crossover? You mentioned the NAM website. We're going to link that at sbcannualmeeting.net. You can find out more and how your church or you can be a part of Crossover. Anything else for those watching at home today?
Well, keep us in prayer. And one last thing, we're going to be having Sunday celebration services, harvest services on Sunday mornings at many of our churches. So if you're in the community, if you're in the area and you're not involved in another meeting somewhere else, we invite you to join with one of our local churches to celebrate what God does through Crossover, connecting it to and in the local church. And then out of that, we look forward to serving and reporting to the convention itself. And we want to in advance say thank you to our cooperating churches, our brothers and sisters around the nation who are coming to Indianapolis. Jonathan, I think I've shared this with you once before. I'm in Indiana, in Greenfield, because of convention that took place in Indianapolis almost 20 years ago. And I had such a good connection during that convention to this community that when the God called me here, I embraced it and came. And I've been here almost 20 years. So it's a powerful thing when we connect those together.
Yeah, and who knows what pastor may be in Indianapolis in 2040 because of what happens here at Crossover and the annual meeting in Indianapolis here in 2024. So incredible story there, Roger. Thanks for joining us today, and thanks for watching at home. For those of you watching, we want to remind you that your road to Indy and your road back home should include a quick side trip to Southern Seminary and Boyce College. You can go to sbts.edu/road trip to see what Southern has planned for SBC 24 road trippers just like you. Again, we hope to see you with us at Crossover in Indianapolis in June. You can join us next week right here on The Road to Indy, presented by Southern Seminary and Boyce College.